Okay guys, let's do the recap for this week. I think we were lucky, or at least fortunate, to make the finals with the deck we drafted. I wasn't happy with how things turned up. Maybe we can go into the details of that later, but overall too many 4-drops, especially also in the spell slot, then a lack of 5, 6, and 7 drops, so we don't have the additional utility of cards higher up on the curve. A little bit of extra mana producing cards, but especially Into the Wilds and the 2 creatures at the low end of the curve, but no cards like Whole of the Night Pack or Garruk's Horde to really make use of the additional mana. In the end, it often came down to our 2 evasive cards that are purely defensive to take down the game. We also had a Blightcaster, but not the shell for it. So overall, not an overly exciting deck. I also don't like to only have a single instant. I think that having instants in M14 is really important to basically always get the upper hand in these exchanges. And then when you have only a single Ranger Skull, you have to be really careful about how to use it. Let's look at the games real quick. This was a real nail-biter just from the start, but in the end, Deathgaze Cockatrice somehow got the job done. This could have easily gone differently. I wasn't expecting my opponent to draw Fortify, Giant Growth, and all the cards he did to make life so difficult for us, but thankfully there was no flyer to save him, because we would have lost against this board very quickly. The other match, our Mind Rod was absolutely amazing. Getting a Hunt the Weak and an Enchantress Outrage from our opponent, and then we could protect Sanger Vampire with Ranger's Guile, and we still needed some help but from our opponent, who didn't play his Garruk's Horde optimally to actually get the game win there. But I think this was a beautiful Mind Rod and a pretty nice play overall. Also the Mark of the Vampire at Briarpack Alpha being saved from the 4 damage of Chandra's Outrage. Just a lot of good minor decisions we made here. The third match was lost pretty convincingly in 2 games. Divine Favor is punishing our line of casting Blightcaster here. Otherwise, Crocsings would have been a lot better, but there is a lot of other auras where waiting for a tutor to arrive before we cast Crocsings is better. I think this was the beginning of the end, and then our opponent also had a very good deck, of course. This game, there isn't really much to say. I think it's correct to be on the draw. I think it's correct to cast Witch Stalker on turn 2, but then seeing the Essence Scatter for the first time followed up by Scroll Thief, and we are just flooding horribly. There isn't much to say about that, but that's how things go. So Blue-White takes us down in the finals. We do get 4 packs for our worries, but let's talk about what we maybe could have done differently. I think this pick 3, after we first picked Briarpack Alpha and then got Sensory Deprivation, could have gone differently. We maybe should have just taken Deadly Recluse, and I think if I would have to make this draft again, I would just pick the Deadly Recluse here. Picking Blightcaster is nice and all, but there is a couple of reasons why I don't like it that much. First, I think my main reasoning was, well, I overvalued the Blightcaster a little bit. I also thought that the fact that we had a Sensory Deprivation was really important, but oftentimes it's correct to put a lot of effort into making your second pick good, because it's usually a great signal if you get a powerful card second pick. But when we are looking at this pick realistically, there was just an empty booster where we took a mediocre card, so we shouldn't have put a lot of emphasis on Sensory Deprivation at this point in the draft. Deadly Recluse is also comparably powerful to Blightcast and would have supported the Briarpack Alpha a lot better. The next reason is that there is 2 Blightcasters and a Diabolic Tutor in this pack, so picking up one of the black cards is sending a pretty bad signal, because after our pick, the best cards in the pack are Deadly Recluse, Blightcaster, Diabolic Tutor, and Pitchburn Devils, at least from my perspective. So overall, this is the pick I regret the most, and I think that assuring the black would have given us an option to maybe actually go into blue-green, which I like a lot, and a lot better than black-green. This is another reason why I think that blue-green might have been out there. We didn't pick up any more blue cards, but an 8th pick Essence Scatter is something that really shouldn't happen. It's a really, really good card in M14 Limited, and it's kind of sad that we didn't end up in blue. I think that's my biggest regret. But apart from pick 3, I can't really see myself doing a lot of other picks. Of course, opening up an Air Servant is another card that we would have been happy to play in any deck, really. And the whole double green Quark Cygnus deck isn't what I was really looking for. Oh well, that's just how it goes sometimes. But I still think that we had some pretty nice games and matches. It's clear that you can't always win all your drafts on Magic Online, and I certainly don't. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep trying. Okay, that's it for today. As always, I'm Simon Götzen recording Simon Says for mtgoacademy.com. See you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.